I can try to get myself established here on my laptop so that I can hopefully actually see this. There it is. And that way, and I get an ad. Of course I get an ad. And for those of you who are watching this after it is live, oh, I already got a thumbs up and I don't even see anyone in the room yet. For those of you who are watching this after it is live, you can wait like a day or so for the chat to catch up on the side. I don't know why. I don't know. They might have fixed that by now. It's been a while. But anyway, if you don't see the chat along the side of the video, then just like give it till the next day and it seems to catch up. Hi, Rachel. Happy Saturday to you. Hi, Chris. I'm glad you could make it. I was going to have a special guest with me today, our grandson Brian, who you've seen on the channel before. But it turns out it is his niece's birthday, so they had to go to Vermont for the party. And so he canceled on me, and then I said, well, what about Sunday? Can I have him come over Sunday? We can watch a scary movie, because we like scary movies. And nope, he's got some other plans. So this is the kind of grandpa that I am. I had to, while he was away, hi Lori, while Brian is away today in Vermont, I went over to their house, and I wish I could set up a picture here. I got a wig, and I have a wig head, got a pillow. I set it up so it looks like somebody is sleeping in his bed when he gets home to freak him out. Hey Roberta, hey Dormouse. And I left him some candy corn, which is his favorite candy. So it wasn't all bad. But his mother is in on it. I believe his father knows. I just can't wait until he goes home and I hear the story of how he thought someone was sleeping in his bed and he gets really freaked out. Because I did it under the blankets. I got the wig hanging, like a long black wig. I wish I could videotape it or even be there when he gets home, but he likes scaring me all the time, so turnabout is fair play, and he blew us off today, not joining us for the live, so he gets what he gets. But like I said, I did leave him some candy corn, so he can't be too mad at me. But we'll see. I'm sure I'll be hearing about it once they get home. I don't think they'll be home till like 5 or 6 tonight maybe, but it's like a long drive for them to go up there, but better them than me. I can barely handle the hour and a half to my brother or my sister's house. So I hope everyone is doing well. Oh, this wasn't the first thing that popped into my head, but I was talking about how I've been trying to work on, that's right, Rachel, I agree. Brian, he had his chance, he lost it. I mentioned how I've been trying to work on my own sugar-free syrups. It's gorgeous here too, Roberta. It's like 70 degrees, feels a bit warmer to me, but you know, this is my ideal type of weather. 70, it's sunny, kind of cool, but love it. I was afraid because it was cold for a little bit there, but we're going to get a little warm patch. I don't know how much longer I'll be able to be out on the porch doing a live. If I can't, I'm going to end up being like in the corner of my room. Although, before I go into the other thing, distracted. Um, as many of you know, we have our guest room and our office that are basically demolished at the moment. We've been waiting for months to try to get this all sorted out and worked on. Well, we are finally getting those rooms, at least part of those rooms, started Tuesday. So there won't be, I don't believe I can manage it, there won't be a new video for Friday. I'm planning on doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, one of the flashback pumpkin videos. So there won't be a new thing until Saturday when we do the collab on the 26th, which is called Monster Bash, and it's for Halloween party treats, and I'm going to do a pumpkin pie dip. But that was just to say the rooms are finally about to be worked on. The floors we still need to get worked out because we're having different people do different pieces, because the one contractor who was going to do it was charging a lot of money for, more than the insurance was willing to cover. So we were able to finagle a few things, and we're going to have people do what they can. And that seems to be a little more reasonable, although the flooring, the guy has to come out and remeasure the flooring because we thought he was asking for way too much flooring than what we needed. But 81 in Florida, flood warning, but amber wind warning until Monday. Wow. That's usually like when we get like a wind warning, it's like for a day. That's like 2 days. Oh, it's horrible, Dormouse. It's like, I was thinking if I was in the bedroom, because if it were too cold out here, I'd have to do this in the corner of the bedroom because Paul is actually working this weekend. So I was thinking I could take you in and show you the disaster that is those 2 rooms, but it's just like we're living. We went through this when we remodeled the kitchen, which turned out great, and it was worth it in the end, but getting to that point is just a big pain, especially something like this where it was all because of an air conditioner leak. And the wet had gotten into all sorts of areas, and so it became a lot bigger than just fixing the air conditioner. And now we've been without those 2 rooms, so I'm trying to wake up early before Paul has to get up for work to record my videos. Or sometimes I might try to stay up late to do something, but that sometimes is challenging too, because by that time, because we go to bed pretty late, so it's usually like 1 o'clock in the morning, and then I'd have to try to record a video after being up all day. So it's just been very topsy-turvy trying to get everything done. Having everything in the living room right now is a bit much, but hopefully there is light now at the end of the tunnel. We'll see. So what I was talking about before was, as many of you know, I've been working on trying to do my own sugar-free syrups, like coffee syrups, basically. But I also wanted to do an actual coffee syrup. It's kind of like the bottles of chocolate. They also have bottles of like coffee flavoring that you can add to milk. One that I know we have is called Autocrat. I believe there are others. So I thought, that would be perfect. So I decided to play around using some monk fruit, and I got this made. I went to go use it. This was like, I'd let it cool down. I went to go use it, and it is solid as a rock. I have microwaved this. I have soaked it in hot water, and it is still solid as a rock. So I don't know if it's the monk fruit that did it, or if I reduced it too much, which may be the case. But I will be trying allulose. From what I've heard, allulose has less chance of crystallizing. The first thing I made, as many of you may have seen, I made like a pumpkin syrup. Oh, I know, Chris, that's always the way. But I am going to try it with the allulose and see. The first batch that I made, it was a pumpkin syrup. It crystallized a bit, and didn't turn solid like this. Although I was thinking maybe I could use this to make hard candies. But they don't even dissolve in hot water. Are they going to dissolve in your mouth, break your teeth? I don't know. But I was going to try the allulose, see if that happened. I did try adding, which was recommended, some xanthan gum, which supposedly was to help keep it from crystallizing. That didn't work in the first batch, so I didn't do it with this batch. Actually, maybe the first batch would have turned solid like this if I hadn't used the xanthan gum. So maybe it actually did work, just not as I wanted it to. But I am going to work on it some more, so it is still in process. But sometimes these recipes, that's what happens. Doesn't always turn out well the first time, or the second, or the fifth. But we'll see. I'm going to keep working on it. So I hope that you guys are all doing well. After I got back from tormenting the grandchild, we had our lunch. I was playing around a little bit. Then I had to get everything set up for the live here. So I'm glad to be out on the porch though, because this is my type of weather. And I don't know if anyone has any questions that they have or anything they want to mention, what have you, but feel free. Don't be shy. Oh, I was thinking probably at the first of the year, I'm thinking I may take a break from the videos for a bit and just kind of unwind, decompress, reset my mind. And part of it is, like, I did my weigh-in this week, and I was disappointed to find that I was up 1.2. It's not as bad as it could have been, but definitely in the wrong direction. And so I was thinking, I mean, I was pretty good most of the week. A couple times at night, I was not great, but I thought it's going to balance out and I'll actually lose, but it didn't happen. So I've been feeling a little like defeated, and I know many of you feel that at times yourself, because I just can't get my mind, like, get those gears set in the way that they're supposed to be set for me to be as committed as I was for that 3 years. So I was thinking, that's so disappointing. But honestly, I am eating well, the recipes that I come up with, and it's the extras that I'm really messing up with. The things I shouldn't be having, or at least overindulging in. But I did think at least it would be much worse if I weren't eating, the meals that I make on the channel. So if I were just like, scrap it all, I would probably be up even higher than I am. So I thought that's kind of a win. I mean, you got to take your wins where you can, right? That's kind of a win because it could have been much worse. I mean, yes, I've been doing things I know I shouldn't be doing, overindulging where I know I shouldn't be, but it could have been much worse. So, I'm going to just take it as what it is. You can only do what you can do, and I try not to give in to those cravings, but yeah, a new cookbook. I have had other people ask me about another cookbook. Considering that this one did take me most of the years that I was doing the channel to compile all of those, I don't know if that's necessarily something that will come up too soon. Although I could do something much smaller, because that was a pretty comprehensive cookbook. I could do something a little smaller, like more focused on dinners, on desserts, on whatever. So I won't say no to that. I am thinking of, I mean, and this won't be associated with the channel necessarily, but I was thinking of creating a cookbook that you can fill in yourself. Hi, Hazel. Good morning. Like a blank cookbook, and selling that. It wouldn't obviously be like a logo with my channel on it or anything, but I was just like thinking that's something that, people like to write down their own recipes at times, and so I'm looking into maybe doing something like that. So I am looking at other things, but I was just thinking, I think, especially with all of the turmoil. Oh, thank you, Roberta. I really appreciate that. I wanted to make sure, because I know for me, I know what I want when I get a cookbook. I want to know what alternatives I can have with things. I want to know specific things. I want details that a lot of cookbook writers don't give you. I also wanted to give you a lot of information, like in the beginning of the cookbook, before I got into the recipes. I was hoping to make it worth your investment in the cookbook, and I do appreciate everyone who has bought one. It really is very heartwarming to know that all of you have purchased it and are enjoying it. I really do appreciate that. So there is a possibility. I won't say there's no possibility of another cookbook, but if there is one, it'll be a much smaller cookbook than that one. But that first one, I definitely wanted to make sure it was worth what you were getting from it, because I've purchased cookbooks and then it's been like, they don't detail certain things and I have to kind of guess, or they don't really give me more than like 5 or 6 recipes that I wanted to make. So I definitely wanted to make it worth your while. But I have also noticed, hi Alan, why thank you. And here I had, just in case you shut up Alan, I had your channel ready so I could share your channel. Alan, as some of you may know, I know Dormouse knows, is in the UK, and he does Slimming World, which is kind of like a UK WW type of thing. I'm like, why am I not getting a chat box here? There it is. And so shares a lot of that stuff with the Slimming World, how he's doing on that, and he's doing great. So if you want to check him out, there is his channel. He and his dog Boris has been doing some videos for him lately, so If you like seeing Boris, like seeing dogs doing videos for their owners, then you're in for a treat. But that is another thing I meant to mention since you asked if I was well, Alan. I've had a really rough week physically, and I'm starting to think, because I was sent a product that I could share on the channel, and so I'm testing it out. And I'm not going to say what it is just yet. I will do a video at some point, probably about it, depending on how it goes. I really enjoyed the product. It kind of like gave me a bit of energy, gave me a bit of focus, which are some of the things. It's also an appetite suppressant. And it seemed to be doing pretty well on those fronts. It does have caffeine, so I was getting a little, if I had coffee and that, might get a little overstimulated. But I started to think that the muscle cramps and things that I was having, and they were a bit more painful than usual, might have been from something in the product. So I stopped taking it yesterday, not going to take it today, and then I'm going to take it again and just see if that happens again. I'm hoping that's not the case, because I really did enjoy what it gave me. But it's the same thing with my ADD meds. I tried to go on ADD meds a while back. They tend to be stimulants, and it would make my blood pressure go up. Granted, this was when I was heavier and had my blood pressure up there anyway, so I could possibly look into doing that again, but it would conflict with the antidepressant that I'm on, so I'd have to juggle and see what I wanted to take. I did try to wean myself off of the antidepressant bupropion, Wellbutrin, and I just didn't feel good coming off of that, so I went back on it and said I can deal with not having the ADD meds for now, although it really did. I was on Vyvanse, and that really helped my mind clear up. So this was doing kind of that same thing, kind of giving me a little sharper focus, which I was really enjoying. So I'm hoping that that's not the cause of the more intense. I do go through periods of intense things with my muscles and nerves. So I'm hoping it was just a rough patch that kind of coincided with me trying that product. But we will see. I'm going to probably take it again tomorrow now that I've had 2 good days, and just see, fingers crossed, hopefully that's not it. Dormouse, I'm a bad caffeine, has 0 effect for me, which is great because I love coffee. Oh, that is good. Yeah, the caffeine, see, I could have, well, okay, when I was younger, things may have changed, but when I was younger, I used to hang out with my girlfriends. We'd watch Knots Landing, and that was on at like 10 o'clock at night. We'd been drinking coffee, having dessert, whatever, while we were enjoying our show. I'd go home and go right to sleep. So I kind of missed it. I used to be able to do that. I think I could still, for the most part, go to sleep, but I do notice the caffeine a lot more than I used to. Hazel loves coffee as well. I can drink it before bedtime and doesn't bother me. Yeah, it typically doesn't bother me, but if I do feel like it's going to, I just pop in a melatonin, and that helps to kind of counteract that. But typically caffeine doesn't bother me late. I can still go to sleep. And I don't think it's the caffeine that was giving me problems with my muscles. It might have been something else that was in this product, but like I said, we'll see. I'm testing it 2 days free of it, feeling pretty good, haven't had any pains. The roughest part, I actually had to get out of bed the other night. Yeah, Chris, coffee, hearts, love it. Um, I actually had to get out of bed the other night because the pain was not the discomfort. It wasn't, I mean, it's pain, but it's not like, sharp pains or anything like that. But I had to actually get out of bed because laying there, I couldn't get comfortable and I was going to keep Paul awake. So I was up till like 3:30. I was sitting on the computer and I said, okay, my body is okay. Let me get up. I went to go push myself up and suddenly my stomach spasmed very intensely. And so I then had to wait that out. So I ended up going to bed, I think it was like 3:45. And I ended up getting up, I believe, at 8:30. So I didn't get a lot of sleep. I did take like a 2-hour nap in the afternoon. I was watching one of my true crime shows and started drifting. So I was like, all right, let me shut this off and just take a nap. And it really did help. So Alan's also a coffee lover. Yeah, I love coffee. And Paul really loves coffee. Paul's like a coffee connoisseur. For Christmas, my brother's sister, they know to get him coffee, some exotic coffee that he maybe hasn't tried before, because he really loves coffee. But he's been noticing himself, after 2, it's usually better if he doesn't go for a third. It's one of the things with aging, things don't always hold up like they used to. Let's see. And I'm sure you can see behind me, the leaves have turned a bit more than the last time 2 weeks ago. And there's mostly yellow behind me from the look of it. But over on the side, let me bring you over to the pond. There's some red in there, some orange, some in the back as well. Paul's probably inside because his desk is like right there by the door. He's probably like, what the hell is he doing lifting that thing up? Oh, thank you, Hazel. Yeah, these I got from iBuy Direct, and they were very inexpensive. And I'd gotten them for distance, but they actually work best when I'm on the computer rather than for distance. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, we love it out here because it's like we're near town, but we're not in town. We have the pond right here. A lot of people go fishing there. Not usually off of our yard. That's like our nephews will come and fish off of here, but we don't fish. As many of you may know, I'm not a seafood lover, so that doesn't appeal to me at all. But yeah, I'm loving the fall colors. I'm loving this 70-degree weather. I think it's supposed to be up in the 70s throughout the week, but then I'm afraid we're going to go like plummeting into the colder temperatures. And I've heard it's supposed to be a La Nina winter, which I can't remember if that means it's good or bad. I think it means it's bad, but I mean, I'm usually in the house most of the time, so unless I have to go shopping or to a doctor's appointment, I often don't leave the house. So it won't affect me too much. But when I do have to go out, I hate going out in the snow. Partly because I'm a fall risk, so if I fall, I'm in trouble. But I'm really not a snow person. I really don't like it. I could deal with the cold better than I could deal with the snow. I'm really not fond of it. Oh, but the glasses, yeah. So I got these from iBuy Direct, And when I told Paul I was getting rainbow glasses, he kind of freaked out thinking it was going to be like rainbow. But, you know, I don't know if he was expecting rainbows over the eyebrows or what. But he was okay with these once he saw them because they were not as, you know, in his face as he thought. Paul and I are a little different in those regards. Like, I was thinking of like coloring my hair some weird funky color, but he would be like, I agree totally, Dormouse. Give me snow for Christmas and then I don't want to see it again. Just to make it a nice picturesque scene for Christmas. I'm all for it. After that, no, I don't want it. I can't wait for it to go away. I hate when you see the piles of snow and they're all kind of dirty. Hi, Kim. I have your channel ready too, just in case you were able to pop on. Kim is on a weight loss journey now herself. And are you trying Slimming World? I know that you were looking into it, Kim, trying to figure it out, but I know it's kind of complicated to figure out how things equate from the UK to US things. But here's Kim's channel if you want to check her out. She's, you know, like many of us, working at what she can do to lose weight. Yeah, I totally get that, Kim. But now, Kim, you're going to be part of the collab for the Halloween party items, I believe, right? Yeah, I did. I do remember your name was on the list I sent out. So Kim will be participating in the collab next Saturday as well. So there is her channel. You'll find her channel under the collab as well next week. So you don't have to memorize it or anything. Spooky Pizza, that's right. I saw, and I've shared it before on Facebook, and I absolutely love it. From Pennywise, the clown from It, they have a vegetable tray that looks just like his face. I love it, but all I'm thinking is once you pick something up from it, you're gonna lose it. But it's really cool. It's very cool. I'm not doing anything like that. Like I said, I'm doing a pumpkin pie dip. So yeah, I think I love that kind of stuff. Hey Lori, how are you? Beautiful day in Indiana. Yeah, it's a beautiful day here in Massachusetts too. Hazel here. Wind and rainstorm. It's better than the white stuff for sure. I love rain and I love thunderstorms in particular. Wind. I love being inside, nice and cozy while all of that's going on. That's my favorite. I've mentioned before how I used to have like a porch outside of a room I was renting years ago when I was 22. I would go sit out there when it was thundering and lightning and just read and enjoy it. I love that kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely better than white stuff. I don't, no snow. But yeah, I don't even know what we're doing. I think we're going over to Paul's son's house for Christmas this year. I believe that is the plan. We're going out for Thanksgiving to a restaurant that we've been to numerous times before. Because, you know, we've done big meals in the past, mostly for Christmas. So usually Thanksgiving we would go to a restaurant. But, you know, it's just, and I know I have a cooking channel. You'd think I'd be all over it, but I stress out trying to time things and get everything lined up and doing all of those. Yeah, it's a bit much for me. Oh, I'm with you, Kim. I was mentioning earlier, it's almost like when you're in that perfect mindset, the gears are like this, and something happens, so they're now like this, and I can't find the way to get them back on track. So I totally get it. I am feeling the same way. As I said, I was up a pound and 1.2 pounds, which was kind of disappointing since for the most part I had done well, but I've been overindulging and being, well, I'm not going to say a bad boy because it is what it is. It's a human thing. It's a psychological thing, I'm sure, some sort of comfort thing. And that might have been, excuse me. Yeah, I mean, I've been bouncing around the same mark. Like I'll lose a little, gain it back, and I'm just, I want it to start going down. I wouldn't mind if I was at goal and this was happening, not an issue at all. But because I let those things creep up and kept not ignoring, but I would overlook, oh, it's just a pound or two, just a pound or two again. I kept going until now 30 pounds and I've got to get it back off. So I totally get that. Yeah, very frustrating. I totally understand. Um, it's weird. I don't know what makes that click happen. What makes those gears go back into place? If I could figure that out. Oh, Roberta, you're yo-yoing too? Yeah, I mean, it's natural. It's normal. I just wish I could get my mindset into, that. Yeah, videos. I've shared, um, let me try to find it. The binge eating therapist, I believe it is. I've shared some of her videos on the Facebook groups and things like that. I really liked her approach to things. She's been through it herself, so I do like watching her. It's different getting that kind of information from someone who has been through it and isn't um, just always been thin and is trying to tell us how to get thin. It's like I, I I mean, I appreciate the idea, but it doesn't have as much meaning as it does um, for me as someone who's been through it. And she has been through it. Sarah is her name, and here is her channel. Um, she has a lot of great inspirational and very informative videos. And like I said, I have shared some before, but there is her channel, The Binge Eating Therapist, really good. Lori, I want to start, jump back into losing weight. Where do I start? Moving into a new house, still unpacking and totally unmotivated. When there's any sort of upheaval in your life, it is very difficult to get into that mindset. So moving, totally understandable that there's just so much going on. It's difficult to focus on anything else. So I totally get that. I think once you get everything settled, you might want to think of it more as a place where you can start new. You're starting new with a new environment. Maybe it can help you to start new with, your weight loss journey. Maybe being in a new space give it a totally different feel. Like, this is my space where I'm going to get healthy. I'm going to focus. I don't know. I mean, maybe once I get these rooms sorted out, we get our lives back on track. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. But, you know, it's something to consider, giving this clean slate, this new board, giving it a different identity, Lori. Like, this is a place where I'm going to do this. Is it going to always happen? No. We all know that. But it might help. Might. But if you check out the binge eating therapist, she does have a lot of great tips, tricks, things like that. Great information. Get a crock-pot, make some crock-pot meals, works great. Yeah, I love crock-pot meals, especially, like, it's usually just Paul and I, so I can make some. We'll have some, and then I have some left over for lunches and things like that. So crock-pot meals are great if you want to have something on hand that you can just grab and go without worrying about, oh crap, it's 12 o'clock, what am I going to eat? And you just grab some things you shouldn't be grabbing. Hi, Kathy. How are you? Glad you could stop by. That's fine. Better late than never, Kathy. But yeah, I mean, I often, whenever I've started something new, whether it's a job, whether it's an apartment, whatever. Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, loving the fall colors. I usually can take that as like a reset button for other things as well. But it's not always easy, and I don't have as many opportunities. We're still in the same house that we were for years now. So, you know, I don't know how I get that motivation back, get those gears back in place. Usually it spontaneously happens, and I just enjoy it while I can. If I find how to purposely do it, believe me, I will let you know, because I know that's a trick I would love to know right now. But I had to finish my Diet Coke, talking about having caffeine. Trying to think what else I was thinking of. Oh, I do have some salad dressings that I'm going to be doing. I could maybe try to do those this week. But see, then I don't want to stress myself out and pressure myself while there's work going on, because the guy's going to be here at 8:30 in the morning to start working on those rooms. And I would have to get up like maybe 6 o'clock to try to record a video and make sure I got everything done in time. So I know I'm going to give myself this Friday off. I do have the collab on Saturday, so you will get a new video this coming week. And then I'll do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll plan on doing some of the pumpkin fallback videos. But honestly, I mean, I've seen kind of like a little downshift in viewership of the videos and very few comments. So that's another reason why I was thinking I would take a break in the new year, because, you know, it's like maybe I need to reset something, come up with something else to do, because like I said, viewership of the videos, comments on the videos have gone down. So I might need to refigure what I want to do See if there's something in particular that people are looking for that I'm not giving them. Yes, Chris and Roberta, stress, and I do it to myself all the time. I always over promise because I'm probably a people pleaser. I know I've always tried to be like the one who makes everything good for everybody. Um, but then I put out so much of myself that I'm like, burning out. That's why I originally started doing the channel. Well, not originally, but early on, I was doing 2 videos a week. And that got to be very stressful. So I reduced it to 1. And, you know, again, it depends on what's happening in the house, what's happening in my life, which usually isn't much, but sometimes if it's a physical thing, you know, I'm just... Mima, hello, just got home from the grocery store, so happy I found you live. I understand exactly what you're saying. Yep. And I did have your channel ready, Mima, just in case you showed up. Mima, if you don't happen to know, has been doing WW for quite a while and doing extremely well at keeping herself accountable, keeping herself on track, and keeping herself within her goal range. So if you'd like to go and check out Mima's channel, there it is right there. Let's see. Dormouse, I think sometimes it's nothing creators do wrong, but that viewers' lives get busy. Yeah, and can't fit in watching and commenting as often. I do agree. I was thinking it was summer. People are a lot more active during the summer. So I said, maybe, you know, it'll pick up once it gets the cooler weather. People are at home more. They have more time. Because I know I'm way behind on videos. So I totally understand. Roberta, I think this time of year a lot of people get too involved with upcoming holidays and give up on taking care of themselves and their healthy habits. Yeah, I do agree. And again, it's that stress factor. It's, you know, you've got all this stuff now you have to do, and you tend to get so focused on prepping for things for the holidays or whatever that sometimes you don't think of what you're going to be eating, what you're going to be doing for your meals, and you just grab and go kind of stuff. And sometimes it's not the best. Sometimes the stress also makes you want something to comfort yourself, which I know is me big time. So yeah, I totally agree, Roberta. It's definitely a downshift sometimes. Yeah, but you know, as long as we keep trying, that, like I say, and like I was saying earlier, if I weren't still eating my recipes, things would be much worse for me than they are right now. But I'm still focused on trying. I'm still focused on eating well where I can. It's those extras that are getting me on trouble. Kim's video tomorrow is on getting back on track. That will definitely be something to watch because I'm sure many of us can relate to that completely. But yeah, I may not be on track, but I'm track adjacent. I'm running alongside the track, although I'm probably walking because I don't like to run. But I'm alongside the track. I just have to get back onto the track. But like I said, if I weren't still eating the meals that I make for the videos and that type of thing, I'd be far worse off. So I have to give myself that grace right there and say, listen, things could be worse. Can pull completely off the track. We just have to take it one day at a time. Alan, you're right. Um, and sometimes it's not even a day at a time. Sometimes it's an hour at a time. Sometimes it's minutes at a time. So, yeah, I'm with you there, Kathy. It's like sometimes I do so well, and then I'm thinking, oh, I'm back on track. But well, I'm glad we could give you a little smile, Mima. I hope everything is going well. That you need to have a smile. But yeah, I mean, it's part of being human is things are not going to go smoothly for the most part. And people who think that they should be going smoothly are really just fooling themselves because that's not realistic. So all you can do is your best. And like I said, I am eating my main meals very healthy, very, what I share with you. It's those other things, especially this time of year. As many of you know, I'm a pumpkin lover. So seeing all these pumpkin treats out there, like I did buy some pumpkin Pop-Tarts. Yeah, pumpkin Pop-Tarts. I don't know why. I suddenly thought that didn't sound right. But I was like, well, they're on sale. It's only this time of year. The things we tell ourselves. Oh, I'm with you there, Kathy. I have anxiety naturally. Not naturally, but I suffer with anxiety disorder as well as the depression. But, I was actually, speaking of caramel apples, Kathy, I was actually, as I mentioned early on in the video, our grandson Brian was supposed to be here with me doing the live, but it turned out he had to go to a birthday party for his niece in Vermont. So, for those of you who weren't here, I did sneak over to his house to pay him back by putting a sleeping person in his bed. It was really just a wig with a wig head and a pillow, but his mother is well aware of it. I believe his father is too. And I just can't wait to hear how he walked into his room and thought someone was sleeping in his bed. But anyways, I don't even know how I got back onto that. I know we were talking about anxiety. The caramel apples. So I was going to show Brian how to make caramel apples. And then I was like, I know that's probably not a good idea, but if I send them all home with him, I know they wouldn't all go home with him, but it might be better off that he didn't come over. Dormouse, I'm sticking to it, but times others are out there to sabotage the day. I default to not eating and mad as I gain more weight. Yeah, I get it. And it's like a balance because if you eat too much, you're going to gain weight. If you don't eat enough, you can gain weight because your body's like, oh, hold on, we're not getting enough calories. Something's going on. Hold on to that fat because we're going to need it. So it is a delicate kind of balance. Mima, just stressed out. Yeah, I totally get it. My granddaughter is getting married 3 weeks from today. We're trying to plan everything down the smallest detail. Stressful. Oh, I am sure. See, Paul and I are planning on getting married after the first of the year. We don't know exactly when yet. We haven't decided that yet. But it's going to be very basic, very simple, very probably town hall-ish, maybe a little ceremony or something. But yeah, all of that stuff would really stress me out. Bye, Kim. So I totally get that. Okay, Roberta, I try to plan a treat most days. I track it first thing in the morning, and if I don't eat it, I just delete it. That's true. That is a good idea, Roberta. Um, my problem, and I do plan on treats throughout the day, like I'll keep bars on hand and things like that. So usually between lunch and dinner, we'll have a bar, we'll have some graham crackers or something small that will tide us over. Mostly it's the nighttime stuff. That's when we get a little like out of control. And lately it hasn't really been necessarily bad things, but it's been like sugary cereals. And then I'll eat it and then I'll be like, "Oh my god, that was so good. I want some more." So, you know, in 3 years didn't have that problem, but you give yourself a little leeway. Oh, well, Kathy, I was telling them when I snuck over to Brian's house to put this figure in his bed, I left him some because he loves candy corn. I left him a bag of candy corn and a bag of harvest mix, kind of as like a, you know, here, I know I maybe freaked you out a little bit, so here's a little treat. That's his favorite. So we even ended up making candy corn cookies one time because he loves candy corn that much. Um, Yeah, that is a great tip, Roberta, about pre-tracking. And yeah, you can always get rid of it if you don't end up having it. Um, but yeah, it's like, and that's the bad thing, like speaking of like candy corn or the pumpkin things that are out now. I am the type when I see something I can't get all the time, I tend to want it more. Like when I go on vacation, I might eat something that I'm like, well, I can't get this back home. I shouldn't be having it, but it's not like I can have it all the time. And so, these are the things that you tell yourself to try to like push past the naysayer in your head saying, you really should not have it. And I have been good for the most part. I've seen many pumpkin maple things that I really wanted. Like I think Werther's has some new caramels out that are pumpkin or maple or both, or apple maybe even. Um, I haven't indulged. I did buy the pumpkin Pop Tarts. I bought some pumpkin mini wheats, but I figured they're mini wheats. They're fiber, you know. Um, but I did get the what is it? The Milano cookies. They have a pumpkin spice one. And even though the pumpkin spice flavor, it was good, but it was more the texture of that cookie. I'm a texture eater, so that really gets me. Um, but I was fine with not buying Milano cookies, but then when I saw pumpkin spice, and I know I can't get that all the time, something in my brain says, oh, you got to get it. You can't get it anymore. Anyway, I bought some pumpkin pie, but put it in the freezer. That's a good idea. And actually, Kathy, if you cut it up before you like and freeze it individually, you can just take out a piece, have that at the ready when you want it, and that way you're not pulling out the whole pie and letting it defrost and well, it's already out. Dormouse, I am lucky that I don't do nighttime picking. I think so many years of 12-hour shifts, not trying to have 3 meals a day as when on shift, I only had time for breakfast and one meal. Yeah, I'm sure that kind of built up a habit, Dormouse, for sure. Mima's been buying the light and fit pumpkin Greek yogurt, only 2 points per carton, so I'm fine with that. That I would love. I've been looking. I haven't seen it in my supermarkets because once the pumpkin season comes out, I'm scouring trying to find it. Which one weird thing, Dairy Queen in the fall comes out with a pumpkin pie blizzard, which, yes, I have indulged in this season. But it was like the beginning of October and they no longer had it. Pumpkin season is nowhere near over. Why do you not have pumpkin pie blizzard? I mean, I'm probably better off that they don't, but it just seems weird to me that in the middle of the pumpkin season they would get rid of it. At Walmart. Okay, I'll have to check at Walmart. Yeah, Walmart, a lot of times, that's where I can find like the fat-free cheddar, which I can't find everywhere. And fat-free mozzarella I can usually find other places, but it's almost always at Walmart. So yeah, I will definitely have to make a trip to Walmart. We have a big super Walmart. It's a little drive, like 20 minutes or so. So that's why I tend not to go, but every once in a while. But maybe I'll go like sometime this week, maybe Wednesday. I think I tried those, not recently. I think I tried them a few years back, Kathy. I did like those. The Belvita. I don't know how they want you to pronounce it, but I always say Belvita, like Velveeta. But yeah, those are good. All right, Chris, thank you for stopping by. I am going to be leaving shortly myself. Because it has been over an hour that I've been babbling on and chatting with you all. But I am glad that everyone was able to stop by. I'll be doing another live in 2 weeks, hopefully. Even if I have to wear a sweatshirt, hopefully I can do it out on the porch. Because I like doing these out on the porch. So hopefully all of you have a great weekend, a great rest of your day. Do something nice for yourself, preferably something not food related if you can help it. Or just find something really nice. Yes, thank you, Chris. Don't forget to thumbs up. But I hope that you guys enjoyed visiting with me on the porch for a little bit. And I guess I will see you next time. I'll see you on the collab. Hopefully you'll stop by for our Halloween Party Treats collab coming up on Saturday next week. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. All right. So it has been lovely. I'm glad you all stopped by. And thank you all for joining me. And I guess until next time, bye. Sending hugs back to you, Alan, and everyone else.